Hello, Internet. So yeah, Comic Book Talks Saga 35. Uh, I finally got caught up, so yay. New issue coming out next week. And yeah, my thoughts about it and what happened. So we start off with a phone call between the photographer Doff and then some dude that he knows that's his contact that he was talking about last time about the photos of Prince Robot and how to find him and track him down. And so it's actually pretty cool because where the guy's at, where there's some cool stuff going on. So he's basically, I guess, since he's like got like a ton of money from the payoff on Prince Robot, just like spending it on like booze and, and prostitutes, I guess, because he has like a bunch of like drugs and like women with like no clothes on around him, and he has a lion cat there, and it's dressed up with like a crown and this weird thing on it. I thought that was cool because it's like, oh, you got a lion cat, so you could just have a lie detector. So it's like, there's other lion cats out there. That's kind of neat because like besides lion cat, besides that time where you see in Isabel's projection that he was like the runt, you haven't really seen any other actual physical lion cats. So I thought that was cool. And so what happens is you have like the Will with his lance. Yeah, he has like the lance to the head of the writer dude as the photographer dude is talking to the contact guy, and he's like, yeah, I need some info on like Prince Robot's whereabouts, blah blah blah, or his favorite spot to get away from it all, yada yada yada. And then and then he gets put on the spot since the other guy has a lion gun, and he's like, well, I've picked up a really good, a very reliable BS detector these days. So let's hear what you have for me. And so he tells him about this. It's actually pretty interesting because he sells out, I guess, possibly someone else that they knew that was a homosexual to like that guy about like, oh, we know this guy that hangs out in like underground gay bars, blah blah blah, to get the info out of him, because he's like, oh, I don't need money, because that's what he offers him first. He's like, oh, I can get you a ton of money, blah blah blah. He's like, I don't need money after this last score and this club I have now. Everything's great. I could use some. What was he? He said something. I can't remember what it's called. He's like, yeah, if you got some dirt on somebody, I can totally use it. And so that happens, and then that forces him to like sell out the other guy. I'm guessing we'll find out who it is later, maybe, probably. And then after the conversation, which is like a phone call, it ends, and then you see the Will and he's on the drug still, and so he's talking to the stalk. Well, he's not talking to the stalk, but the stalk. Well, I guess he is actually. So yeah, him and the stalk are talking. Well, his hallucinatory stalk vision are talking, and the stalk's like, "Oh yeah, now let's slit their throats and go finish the box head that offed me." He's like, well, and then the Will's like, wait, no, we can still use you too somehow, or maybe they're just working us. Let's keep them around for now. And then they're off on their way. Oh, and but first the writer says something about how many more lives we're gonna have to help this guy ruin before we get we get out of the situation. And the Will's like, no, guys, we're gonna a lot of time to spend together still. Let's go. Who's hungry? And then we switch to Alana, Marco, and Prince Robot. And this is a great scene because so basically they're talking about their plan to get onto landfall, and they, along the way to getting where they're at with Prince Robot, they had been previously. You find out in this conversation that they've been previously doing bank robberies and other heists, and so. And then they also picked up the credentials of some other robot in like the royal family, and they have his card or whatever. And then they're like, okay, Prince Robot, your plan or our plan, because we stole this crash helm from this museum, and there's all this other armor and gear, which is how we got. Or I guess they got the sword from Ginny, but whatever. It's like, they've been doing stuff, and stuff's been going down over these last however many years, working on this, trying to get Hazel, and then. So that happens, and then they're like, okay, Prince Robot, you're going to impersonate this guy and then get us onto the moon, because we know that we can't just teleport in because they have stuff that's like anti-magic, defenses that will prevent all this stuff that we have for Marco to use, since he's a magic user and stuff. And then Prince Robot's like, well, I don't look anything like this guy on the ID card. And they're like, and then Marco's like, looks close enough to me. And Prince Robot's like, because you people are filthy racists who think every robot looks the same. And then Alana's like, well, unfortunately, your friends in the coalition aren't much more enlightened. And then Prince Robot's like, you savages deserve each other. Oh, and then like also when because like Alana has like all this stuff from like the Duke guy or Count Robot LX is like the guy that he's gonna be impersonating, and then she's all like, oh yeah, I was at this bar with some guy, one of my aliases or whatever, when we were doing this. So it wasn't really me. I was just like whatever, getting this stuff so we could do this job. And I ended up with his like wardrobe and his ID card. And then Prince Robot's like, wait, how did you even? And then before he can like ask the question and get it answered, Marco's like, no, and he like covers his ears and he's like, we agreed. It's best I never know. And then Alana, it's funny because like Alana's like, it's not even that exciting. It's like it's not even that bad. It's like way less exciting than he imagines it. It's like whatever. Like nothing happened. I probably just like drugged his drink or something. Who knows? But yeah, that was a pretty funny conversation there. And then we go back to the landfall facility with Hazel and the teacher because she said she tried to help her escape in the last issue at the end. So here we have her hatching her plan to try to get Hazel out of there. And she's like, okay, well, the guards never check the what is it? She says like the smocks or whatever from the art thing I take home once a month to clean. So if we can just find a box for you to fit in that's big enough. But before she can, finish, Clara, who's the grandma, I finally am going to remember her name now because they said it this issue. Well, hopefully I remember it. I always forget it anyway, so whatever. But like Clara the grandma is all like, well, she's talking in horn language, so you don't know what she's saying for like the first half of the conversation. And you just have like her, Lexus, and what is the name of that lady? The transgender lady. I'm trying to. They say her name too, but I don't remember. It starts with like a derp, whatever. That lady, her, and so those three are there, and they're confronting the teacher. Like, what are you doing, Hazel? Why are you talking to your teacher? What's going on here? And then Hazel's like, well, she saw my wings, and now she wants to help me escape, and I'd really like to get out of here because, yeah, it's not a fun time being in a prison holding facility, dudes. And so there's like a discussion about, well, what should we do here? Oh, it's also funny because Claire's been like reading that Oswald novel. It's like, someone says, well, between you and that book that you keep reading everybody, we're like, there's going to be a riot sometime soon if you don't stop it with the propaganda from that stupid Oswald book. And then, even like Lexus says like a line from the book, which is cool because like the text changes to that, and it goes back to like her, or like just the normal font for like, dialogue. She's like, you and I are outside the in-group. The monster warned the girl. It's like, you remember that? You remember that? What that means, right? So she's like talking about a line from the book. And then Claire's like becoming more sympathetic to like actually letting the teacher take her, which is pretty surprising because it doesn't seem like Claire's like someone that would like let go in the situation of just like this is not happening. Also, the transgender lady is all she's all, yeah. If teacher knows about the secret, I know about the secret. This is clearly not going to go down in a good way as it escalates. It's going to escalate, and bad stuff's going to happen. So I think we should just take the train out of town here and get out while we can, or at least Hazel anyway. And then yeah, so that's happening. Oh yeah, and then Clara asks her like, "Why are you even helping her? She's not even on like the same faction as you." Well, I mean, technically I don't know how that works because since she's like a hybrid, isn't she on both sides? But then both sides hate her. So I don't know. We'll find out. That's always confusing me of like why that is the case. So I guess we'll figure it out later. But yeah, that she said that, and then the teacher's like, "Oh, I don't know. I just know we have to decide what to do now." And then we have the part with where we go back to Prince Robot and them. I'm sorry, Knight Robot, because he's not a prince anymore, but he's playing the Duke or whatever in this one, or he's impersonating somebody else because all the robots look the same. Oh, that's great. And it's funny too because like his monitor's cracked, so it's like clearly he's not even the same robot, but they don't notice. So it's like it works, and then it's like he gets so much mad after like, or he gets super angry like, or he gets upset after the transmission. And it's funny too because like during the transmission, the guard that's like she's not even like looking. She's like drawing in some coloring book, like yeah whatever on some clipboard, and then she's like yeah just don't park in the red zone, whatever, blah blah blah, access granted. And then Prince Robot's just like, that was disgraceful. I had to impersonate some weak-chin excuse of intermediate nobility. I didn't even look like him. And they didn't question it. Whatever. And then, so their plan is to like have Marco teleport in with the crash helm and then teleport back out with Hazel. Because he said he could only come, like they only had like enough juice to carry 2 people on the way out. And then, like he's talking about, you know, as soon as we're geosynchronous orbit with the planet, blah blah blah. But before he can finish his sentence, the ship is struck, and then and then Prince Robot's like, "Our dumb rocket is as good as invisible." She bleats. They'll never get a target lock on us. And then Alana's like, "Whoa, that wasn't a missile. We hit a hive mind." Which is a new thing, because I don't remember this being the thing. And apparently it's like a minefield, but then the mines are like little eggs or rocks or something. Because like after they hit it, it's like, okay, what happens now? And like these like weird looking creature things that like come out of the mine. And it's like, whoa, what the F? So that was neat. So you have Prince Robot and Alana, mostly Prince Robot, fighting those off while Marco teleports out. And then Marco and Alana have some words, and she's like, or Marco's like, okay, Alana, whatever happens, and then Alana's like, screw whatever. You come back here with our daughter, safe and sound, in a story. And he's like, oh, okay, so I guess, you know, rescuing your mother-in-law is just optional. And then she's all, well, don't think like that. I love your mom. She made you. And it's like, oh, that was so sweet. And then they have like a kiss goodbye. And it's like, great scene. It's a great scene. I was like, oh, that's great. And then he teleports out. It's like, good stuff. Saga, you're the best. And like, yeah, the whole time that's happening, like Prince Robot's just like using his arm gun thing, laser arm gun thing to like shoot or however that works, laser blast, whatever, energy projections, that to like just destroy all the weird creature things that are popping out of the landmine. Oh, and then like, okay, I guess like after that happened, like Marco made a comment about like, didn't like my people outlaw these mines like decades ago? Why are they still around? But then, you know, it's just one of those things. Since they're at like wartime all the time, they're just yeah, you're gonna run into like that those relic artifact stuff that's just still there, ruining your day. And so Marco teleports out, and then Prince Robot and Lana have like this thing here where it's like Prince Robot's like, oh, actually, he just said something to her. He's like, you know, I realize this is the last thing one is ever supposed to say, but I have some idea what you must be going through, and I wish your family success, because, you know, he lost the Princeling for such a long time, and he had to go through so much to get him back. And then now they're in the same, they're in that boat too, like trying to get Hazel. And so, yeah, that happens. And then we go back to the, I guess, the sanctuary planet, because we don't know where it's at, and the one where you know, Prince Robot was like where they left him and Goose and Squire. And so we're there, and then we see Squire, and he's like, okay, over here he's got a bow and arrow, and he's like, all right, I just got her dinner. This one's really bleeding out. It's gonna be really plump. And he turns around, and then you see a Sweet Boy with the bird in its mouth, or yeah, Sweet Boy with a bird in its mouth. Wait, yeah. Sweet Boy with a bird in his mouth, yeah. And then the Will's there. He's like, where's your old man? It's like, oh man. It's like, yeah. It's like, no, Will, don't do it. Like the whole time I was like, oh man, this is gonna be hard to read, because he's just like one step away from like doing something terrible and like ascending to villaindom. And it's just like, no, Will, no, you're such a cool character. First arc, no. And so, yeah, he's like, where's your dad? Where's he at, man? Where'd he go? And then Squire's like, you're not a friend. And then Will's having the the drug uh, hallucinations with the stalk there, and then they're at a cliff, and he like picks him up, and he like starts. It looks like he's choking him, but I couldn't tell because like the dialogue. I guess he is choking him, but whatever. It's implied. I guess it's implied he's choking him because there's no like ellipsis. It just says I he, so he's like struggling clearly to answer. But yeah, anyway, there's no like anyway. So yeah, and the Will's like, you know your dad's a killer. He kills women. He shoots him in the heart, and then like the hallucination is just like, do it, Will. Let's watch his face as he falls. Let's watch his little face as he falls. Just throw him off the cliff. Ah, yeah, do it. And then we have like a speech bubble off panel of like, hurt the boy, and Goose will drop you dead. And it's like, oh man, Will and Goose throwdown, and that's like the last panel. It's super cliffhanger, and it's like, dude, Goose was like, ever since I've seen Goose, I was like, that's a cool character. Because like when I saw it, and I'm kind of like bummed out of like now it's gonna go down between like the Will and Goose, and it's like, wow, man, just he's got his axe, he's on Friendo. I thought those were like such cool characters. Like the first time I saw them when they landed on like the lighthouse area, and I was like, man, that's such a. It's like there's so many cool creatures that have been like drawn in this, and it's like you saw like little walrus walking around with Goose. And it's like he had a giant axe just hanging out, and then he was like more incorporated into the story. They got to go along with them, and then yeah. And now it's between him and the Will, and it's like, oh man, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Two of my favorite characters are fighting. And I'm pretty sure only one of them is going to walk away, so I'm bummed out about that. But that was it for Saga 35. I very much enjoyed it, and I'm all caught up now, so when issue 36 comes out next week, I'll be all over that, and we'll be all caught up on Comic Book Talks with Saga, and yeah. I'm not looking forward to it. Or I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it because, yeah, it's gonna be one of those, just like in the lighthouse, where it's like, ooh, who's gonna make it, who's not gonna make it. Yeah, or I guess like whatever happens in the prison break is like who's gonna make it, who's not gonna make it. So that's gonna be cool, but sad, yeah, or bittersweet, I guess, yeah. So yeah, that was Saga issue 35. My thoughts on it. I very much enjoyed it. And yeah. So feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, favorite, share it with your friends or not. That's cool too. I think I don't know. I might be trying to get some more issues of the X-Men 90 something or whatever it was called read, and then get those up. But not anytime soon. I just want to get through Saga for sure this week, and then yeah, I'll be doing more X-Men 92 to get caught up on that. 'Cause it's only like 3 issues in or something, so I can be up to speed on that one. And I want to some other stuff on from Image. I want to get into like Pretty Deadly. I have like a lot of the issues. I just haven't read them. And then there's like this sale right now on Comixology where I can get some for cheap. And then also Tokyo Ghost from Reminder, because he wrote Uncanny Avengers, which I loved. After issue 5, it got really good. So I thoroughly enjoyed that book. So looking forward to checking that out. It's like a cyberpunk, and I love cyberpunk settings, so definitely wanting to get more stuff to read so I can do more of these comic book talks. But yeah, that's it for Saga issue 35. Wait, wow, I already forgot. Wow, I'm terrible. This issue is Saga. Yeah, 35. So next week 36. And until you see or hear from me again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm now signing off.